Boy, oh boy, what is the meaning of this 1-star headgear being rank 12? What is up, the guys? This is Cobb, and this is a beginner account owned by Mrs. Strawberry, her first ever raid account in Raid Shadow Legends. It is literally 10 days old, so extremely early days, and we're going to be doing some account takeoff action here and see if we can't help her out, man. This is going to be part of her new series on this channel, and it's our first time doing this, so by all means, feel free to chime in the comments as well with some advice for newer players. Now, in this series, I am going to be heavily prioritizing accounts that have been created using my beginner promo link, which of course is down below in the video description box, because if I'm going to help you jumpstart your account with 4 free epic champions, the least I can do is review your account a few weeks in and just ensure that you're getting off to the best possible start. So if you want to get involved in this series, the best way to do that is jumpstart a new second alt account, or maybe a fresh start account using that beginner promo link down below. All you gotta do is download Raid using that link while you are signed out of Plarium Play on your PC to make sure you get your hands on all of the saucy rewards, including Fayne at level 40. But alright boys, let's do this. Okay, so the first thing I've got to say about Strawberry's, or rather BB's account, is going to be that her Kael is looking pretty darn strong. I'm assuming that these are some crit rate gauntlets, which they are. Double speed roll, attack percent. Honestly, the Kael build is looking great. He's very fast as well, which, I mean, it's fine. Unfortunately, it looks like we went ahead and upgraded the ring up to a rank 16, even though it's only a 3-star ring. Generally speaking, any piece of 3-star gear, even in the first month of your account, probably isn't worth taking up to rank 16. Tends to just be a little bit of a waste of silver, but looks like speed boots over here as well. His crit chance is pretty good. Speed accuracy on the random weapon. We do have 4 pieces of lifesteal gear here. 5 pieces of lifesteal gear, where of course you only need 4 for the set bonus. So I'm wondering if we could switch out one of those pieces for something just a little bit better in terms of stats. So I do have some permissions to go in here and actually make some changes real quick. I am just going to go ahead and crank this up to a rank 16, because getting as close to 100% crit rate as possible is going to be quite useful for us. That actually sinks all of our silver. Which is ridiculous, but okay. That was just an expensive bit of upgrading we just did. My god. But there's an artifact enhancement event active anyway. It's fine for us to go ahead and do that, and frankly, this puts us at very close to 100% crit rate, and actually does give us 100% crit rate, at least on the A2, so that's fine. And also, our Kael does not yet have his masteries unlocked, which is understandable. It's 10 days in. I believe that our gem mine building is fully upgraded, so that's great. We've got that passive income of the gem mine coming in nice and quickly, and as soon as we hit 800 gems, very first thing we want to do is go ahead into our Kael's masteries and just spend the gems required to get the masteries. Don't worry about that. We've already started, filling in some of Kael's masteries here. This doesn't matter that much. This is not really a lot of masteries anyway. This is 1 or 2% progress or something, believe me. Moving along a bit, we do have Uugo up next, who's just in a mix of HP, or rather life set gear, which I'm guessing a lot of these have been upgraded to get us through various early game challenges and stuff like that, which, I mean, is fine for the time being. I do also notice that the Uugo is going up towards level 50, so we actually did go ahead and upgrade the rank of the Uugo. I think the very first thing we've got to do on this account is stop taking champions up to level 40. We have a bunch of level 30 champions here as well, like a War Maiden just sitting around and stuff. None of that matters. The only thing that matters on this account now is just getting the Kael up to level 60 as quickly as humanly possible, right? We can keep him in these 4 pieces of lifesteal gear at a minimum, and just use him as our campaign farmer, which he's going to do a pretty good job of once we get his masteries purchased. As for the campaign, how far along are we? Okay, so we're in Brutal Campaign, and we're actually up to stage 12. A brutal campaign, but I've got to imagine that we're not able to actually clear this with a level 50 Kael. Not without masteries, right? Probably not. Let's see how this goes. Oh my god. Might actually be able to just about do it. I don't know if this is going to be 100% reliable to do. Things got a little bit close there for a second, but it looks like our Kael, with very close to 100% crit rate, is actually able to solo campaign 3, stage 12, on brutal, and so that means that even at level 50 right now, we can just be farming up a crap load of food champions on this account. Just do nothing for the next 2 weeks on this account, but farm up food champions would be my first piece of advice here, right? Get all kinds of goddamn incubuses and aristocrats and whatever. Get all these guys ranked up to be like 4 and 5 star food and get it to a point where you can take your kill up to level 60. That's going to be the first piece of advice I give. That's going to boost your clan boss damage by a hell of a lot. It's going to speed up the rate at which you can farm campaign, make it much more reliable, because things did get a little bit sketchy there for just a second. And then you can start to plan out who you want to take up to level 60 next. One thing that I will mention as well is that I'm noticing that we presumably pulled a Thalesia, who I'm not gonna comment too much on the gear just yet. We've got attack percentage boots here. We want to be holding on to any boots at all that give speed as a primary stat, and so we can maybe factor that into our campaign farming as well, and farm stages that give speed boots instead, just to kind of get us started with that at least, because it's still very early days on this account. I would say though that Thalesia, her main job, at least in an early game account, is to bring AoE decreased defense. However, Uugo is already bringing the AoE decreased defense, and so there's a little bit of overlap of roles here going on, right, with that AoE decreased defense debuff. And we've already started committing skill bucks into the Uugo as well that I can see. So we're getting that increased debuff chance, which is great. I'd leave this Thalesia alone for now. I'd knock the Thalesia back a little bit. Don't get distracted by the Thalesia. Get the Kael up to level 60. Then I'd just leave the Uugo at level 50 for a while, actually. But Uugo should be a champ you take up to level 60 before the Thalesia, is what I'm going to say. Because they're both kind of doing similar-ish jobs. Thalesia does good damage, but we're just looking to sort of diversify our toolkit as much as we possibly can on the account. It looks like we did also grab ourselves a Spirit Host and kind of rushed her up to level 40 as well, which is fine. Spirit Host is a great early game champion. She brings an increased attack buff. Strong version, the 50% version. I just gotta check as well. Okay, we did fully skill book our Kael. He's actually missing the final skill book required in his A3. We should wait for like the next CVC to begin or something, and then go ahead and spend that last skill book and definitely get that cooldown reduction. Very important. But the Spirit Host, again, we've been a little bit distracted by the Spirit Host. We are pretty much fine to leave her where she is for now, and this is one of those things that you've got to consider as well as a newer player, right? Once you've got your Kael or your campaign farmer up to level 60 and you're able to farm up whatever champ you want and start farming food faster, you know, because you're farming campaign 12-3 on Brutal nice and easily. When planning out which champion to take up to max level next, you've got to consider whether you even have the gear and the artifacts available in your storage to make that champion useful. What you don't want to be doing is taking speed helmets and ranking them up to 12 when it's a 1-star helmet, right? Any item that is not at least 4 stars, okay, and most importantly has like good stat rolls. Like, what are the stats on this? So we've got some attack percentage gauntlets here on the Spirit Host as well. Not ideal, right? For a support style champion, which it says right here that Spirit Host is a support style champion. That's your first clue. She's mostly just there to bring utility and buffs and stuff like that. You're looking to just make her as fast as possible. So I like the speed set gear on the Spirit Host. Like, that's fine. That's the right idea. But the primary stats on a support style champion are usually gonna be things like defense percentage, HP percentage, and then as many speed substats as you possibly can get your hands on. You know what I'm saying? So I think what I would say for in terms of taking champions up to max level next would be get the Kael up, Uugo can stay at level 50 for a while, and then I probably take the Greybeard up to level 50, I think, just because of the wave control that he provides, right? He has a chance of placing Provoke on the A1, he's got a chance of placing Freeze on an AoE on the A2, and Greybeard can help you out quite a bit for getting started against things like dungeon waves and stuff like that. Then you want to wait for the next, like, Dragon dungeon tournament or whatever to show up, and hopefully you can farm at least stage 10 of that Dragon tournament using your Kael and using, you know, your Uugo and your Greybeard, and get them in there and farm the crap out of it so you can get some, you know, good lifesteal gear upgrades, some good speed gear drops if you can, right? Some good 4 and 5-star speed gear drops are going to help you out a hell of a lot on this account. So long story short, 4 or 5-star speed boots across your entire account are going to help out basically all of your champions a hell of a lot. The Great Hall, at least it looks like we've avoided a lot of the common pitfalls and mistakes in the Great Hall. There are challenges that we should be coming across in the early game that require us to spend some upgrades into the attack nodes. Just 1 in each node, I believe, to get through the early game challenges. Looks like we haven't got to that just yet. But yeah, Definitely no more in the HP slots for now. Just focus on getting the accuracy slots up as quickly as you can for the most part, right? At least getting all of them to rank 5 is going to help you out quite a lot as well. But it looks like the Great Hold is going pretty good. Another thing worth mentioning is because I know for a fact that this account used our insane beginner promo link, which again is down below at the top of the video description, right? I know this account used that link, and so I know for a fact that once this account hits level 40, you're going to get your hands on Fayne. Try and have your Kael at level 60 before you get the Fayne, and then the Fayne should probably be your next level 60 champion, is what I would say. Fayne is going to help you out a hell of a lot with very, very important debuffs into Demon Lord Clan Boss. She's going to help you out in dungeons like Fire Knight and like Dragon as well. Just an all-round excellent, excellent champion. So when you do get your hands on Fayne, make sure to push the crap out of this champ. Next, you just want it to be as fast as possible and with good accuracy, right? Aim for like at least 100 to like 130 accuracy on your Fayne if you can, and that'll be enough to get you started into the earliest stages of Clan Boss, as well as at least stage 10 and a little bit beyond of Dragon. Another additional tip as well is that I see that we're pretty low on mystery shards already. Ideally, what we want to be doing is checking into the market building constantly, right? I wouldn't spend gems, by the way, to unlock any more market slots just yet, unless you have to buy an ancient shard. If an ancient shard shows up in the market, fair enough, spend the gems you need to get to the ancient shard. But try and buy the mystery shards like I have here from the market at every possible opportunity to keep your stock nice and high, because frankly, you're going to be leveling a lot of food champions on this account over the coming 2 or 3 weeks. And yeah, frankly, you're going to need the refills because yeah, there's a lot of grinding ahead, you know what I'm saying? Last thing is just checking in on the challenges screen, where it looks like we're doing okay enough, like we're working our way steadily enough through the champion challenges, which is great. Do definitely keep an eye on these and don't fall too far behind with them. Arena looks to be going okay as well. Dungeon challenges, we're on 3 out of 5, but the artifact challenges, we are falling behind bigly on these, right? Win 3 weapons from clearing stage 1 of Kaerok Castle on normal. We're already at a point where we're going to have to go back a lot to complete a lot of these challenges. I'd highly, highly recommend doing these challenges with your Kael and like 3 food champions in the team with Kael as you do these challenges, and pay extra attention to the difficulty of stage that it is asking you to do for these challenges, because there's going to be a lot of going back to hard and normal mode to get these challenges done. Alright, and welcome to good old Elon's account, which is just over 2 months in, right? Day 65 on Elon's account, and Elon is looking to progress more steadily into Nightmare Clan Boss and get it down to a 1 or a 2 key Nightmare Clan Boss clear, and then start preparing for normal Hydra, which I think are just very, very just nice and concrete goals, right? Good stuff. The account progress is honestly really, really good. The fact that you're able to like 3 key Nightmare Clan Boss 2 months in is pretty solid. It means that you're going to at least have a few secrets coming in per month as long as your clan is killing the Nightmare Clan Boss, so that's fine, man. That's actually a pretty decent bit of progress that we've got going on. We also have a fully booked out Jintoro, which is a pretty damn good Clan Boss champion. With it's a single hitter on the A3, places decreased defense and weaken, but will attack 5 times instead on every 4th use of this skill, if it's against the same target in 1 round. So just kind of built to clobber the hell out of Clan Boss. The A2 also decreases the cooldown of this A3 by a 10 as well, and so you're just looking to get this A3 off as much as humanly possible. And so Jintoro is like kind of our chief damage dealer-ish going into Clan Boss, and this is what the team looks like currently. Now, from looking around on the account just a little bit, from what I can tell, I feel like the main thing holding the account back right now is just gear and just artifacts, and just kind of struggling to meet certain stat checks against the Nightmare Clan Boss. I forget how much defense is recommended. I think it's like north of 2800 defense on champs. Of course, you're running a Rector Drath in this team who brings Perfect Bell, and so you can get away with slightly lower defense there because you're taking less AoE damage, so that's fine. But you also need 200 accuracy at least to be landing your debuffs reliably against Demon Lord Clan Boss. Rector Drath is a mile away, even with the help of Loki's accuracy aura. So the Rector Drath is not really landing her decrease attacks, but the Fayne is at 160 accuracy. So with the help of Loki's aura, the Fayne is at least able to land all 4 of her extremely powerful debuffs very, very reliably. By the way, 2 of which are decreased defense and weaken, same as Jintoro. So there's a little bit of overlap there that's not like completely ideal to have the Fayne and the Jintoro overlapping 2 key debuffs like that. It's not great, but it's not the biggest priority thing that we got to repair with this team. It's mostly speeds and accuracies, hopefully while still maintaining a decent amount of defense so that we can live, right? The Loki's gotta go. That's like the first thing. Okay, so if we skip on over to the champion collection and just check this out a little bit, we'll check over the items builds in just a second, but the Loki is just not bringing enough to Demon Lord Clan Boss. He can extend the duration of some buffs, but it's only on a 30%. He's not booked out, which I think is correct. It's not great to, be spending big resources on your Loki the Deceiver most of the time as a new player on a new account, at least in my opinion. And frankly, we've actually got some pretty good artifacts committed onto Loki. Some defense percentage perception gauntlets that rolled or ascended into pink stat percentage defense as well. Bit of speed, bit of accuracy. It's a shame about the defense rolls, but like a 2-month-old account, these are some premium perception gloves, These are really, really good, and we're spending them on the Loki. It's not the greatest, right? This is also a common theme that I'm seeing on the account quite a bit as well, after poking around just a little bit. We've got a lot of boots that are not speed primary. There's one also on the Rector Drath, I think, as well, which is not ideal. We want our supports and our healers, especially like Rector, to be as fast as possible while still being pretty survivable. So yeah, the likes of HP percentage on boots and stuff, I wouldn't be too concerned, generally speaking, about hitting set bonuses, right? Because I'm assuming that, okay, we really, really wanted this weapon to be equipped because it has a bit of accuracy on it, I guess. It's only a 3-star speed weapon, so I don't think this weapon is even that great, but I see that we're trying to go for the speed weapon and the speed boots, and we're trying to get like that 2 set going for that extra 12% speed. But frankly, you're just better off just getting any 5-star set of boots and just going for primary stats and just looking for speed and just throwing these on there, right? Like, we've got some lying around, I guess. Scroll on down a wee bit. Do we have, like, any good perception ones just lying around? We actually do. Okay, these are very, very good perception boots, potentially, with some speed rolls into these. So, we do have some pretty decent boots lying around. We've actually got some 6-star speed boots here, which, even if these stats suck, it just doesn't matter. Like, the speed boost that these things can give alone is going to be extremely, extremely valuable. So if any one of these champs, you want to bolster their speed by a lot, just upgrade these to 16 during artifact enhancement and just get them on anybody. It doesn't matter about the set bonuses. I'd say for the first like 6 months of your raid account, the stats on the gear is so much more important, and boots is definitely chief among them. Now, all of that being said, I would go ahead and just get rid of Loki the Deceiver, and instead, what I do notice is that we don't actually have a speed or like an increased speed buffer champion on our clan boss team. Eris could come in with that role. She could do that job. I think I'd actually go ahead and recommend the Apothecary instead. Would I recommend the Apothecary instead? Yeah, I think I would. I think I would because he brings increased speed, strong version. He's already pretty much fully booked out as well, which is great. So he's kind of ready to rock and roll. He brings a little bit of 10 meter fill as well. Brings a little bit of emergency healing, which is fine, to be honest. You might even want to just disable this, honestly, going into clan boss. But you want to take advantage of his A3. It's a triple hitter, right? Attacks 3 times at random. And then you want to combo this up with the Giant Slayer Mastery, which bonus damage, which is percentage health damage from the Giant Slayer Mastery, bonus damage can occur on each hit of a skill, okay? Meaning that, yeah, Apothecary he can crank out a crap load of percentage health damage with this A3 over the course of a longer fight, and the increased speed buff and the 10 meter fill is just going to bolster the damage of everybody, most importantly, Jintoro, right? I think Apothecary would be I can't really see any other better options here for increased speed. Like I say, Eris isn't bad in a toxic set. That is something that you could try out as well for some little bit of extra damage, but Eris is a little bit of a one-trick pony, whereas at least Apothecary will help you out into many areas of the game as well. Jintoro, we want to try and get the most out of this guy, right? His A3 in particular, and so we need him to be as fast as possible. If we're boosting his 10 meter, increasing his speed, he's going to get around to using this A3 more and more and more often, which is great. And ideally, we could also tweak his gear to get him in a Relentless set. Does he have speed boots? Okay, he does at least have speed boots over here, which is great. Fine. A little bit of attack percentage roll in these as well. They're only 4 stars, but that's okay, man. Those will do for the time being. I'd be very, very curious to see if we can get this guy built out in a Relentless set. From what I've seen, if I'd look at all of the equipped items as well, and we just go into the fitting room real quick. From what I've seen, it looks to me like we would be able to get him to 100% crit rate because we do have some crit rate gloves just sitting here that can be upgraded to give a max of 50% crit rate right away, just right off of the very get-go. Do we have some helmets lying around? We do. Crit rate, crit damage, helm here potentially that we could also throw on as well. He's losing a lot of accuracy here, but who gives a damn? Fayne is already bringing the weaken and the decreased defense anyway. You know what I'm saying? So if Jintoro and if Clan Boss is going to be our main focus here, him having the accuracy doesn't feel like the biggest priority to me, at least right now. I'll check out his accuracy, his banners and stuff as well in just a second. But yeah, if we can build this guy out, we also have an attack percentage chest here as well. If we can build him out in relentless pieces and still get him up to that all-important 100% crit rate, and just keep his attack like anywhere above 3,000 for the time being, I think that would be great. And this is the kind of loadout that you could maybe start with. Obviously roll these up, make sure that the stat rolls are going into decent places and stuff. And I'd say don't be too scared of taking, oh my god, look at this dude. We got a relentless weapon here with double crit speed and accuracy, but we have it on a grey beard as that. Oh my god, dude. Yeah, like we could go ahead and switch some of these items off some of our less used champions, some of our weaker champions, if we're really going to focus down and fix this Clan Boss team. I won't make any changes here because I don't want to spend your silver. On the banner we have attack percentage, that's fine. We don't actually have any other banner options lying around, pretty much, besides a little bit of this action. Yeah, ideally it would be like attack with like attack percentage speed, but we're not there just yet. We do have crit damage on the amulet, which is great. But yeah, the reason that you want, I should actually point out, the reason that you want your Jintoro in a relentless set if you can is because that extra turn that you can get is just going to effectively reduce his cooldowns all by 1 turn and get him those extra turns ticking. And just get you around to spamming his A3 as much as possible, which is what you want to get the most damage possible out of the Jintoro. Now, on the Rector Drath, there it is. We got the good old flat stat boots for Rector Drath, where again, it looks like we're trying to kind of shoehorn in the Immortal 2 set, and just trying to make the Immortal set work as best as we can on the Rector Drath, which I get it. This is something that people do very, very often. When they're getting started in Raid, they kind of focus a lot on the sets. But frankly, this Rector Drath could actually reach like pretty damn good levels of speed, like over 200 speed, if we were to just get some speed boots, some 5-star speed boots, all those 6-star speed boots on this Rector Drath, and just get her going as fast as humanly possible, keeping those heals coming, and maintaining those perfect veil buffs, just very, very effectively. So I think that everything could do with just being that little bit faster. And of course, the Rector Drath's accuracy is only at 60, but again, Fayne is taking care of the decreased attack debuff, and so we don't have to worry too much about that. What we do have to worry about is that Fayne is lacking accuracy and is a little bit slow because, once again, we don't have speed boots equipped. We've got these attack percentage boots equipped, which I know why we're doing this. We're trying to make the lifesteal. We're just trying to get the lifesteal set on the Fayne, because I'm guessing you've tested this out, and without lifesteal, Fayne is just dying. That could be what's happening here. If the Rector Drath is made faster, we might not have that problem as much. So that's something that we could test out as well. If the Rector Drath is just made to be a lot quicker in the build, she might be able to keep the Fayne alive without lifesteal. Maybe. Okay, obviously I'm not going to go ahead and test this on the account. But yeah, we're kind of shoehorning in this lifesteal set as best as we can on the Fayne. As far as I can see, we've got some crit damage gloves here, but we're not even close to 100% crit rate. And so just getting the Fayne, again, nice and fast, at least 200 accuracy, while maintaining somewhere close to 3,000 defense, and the Fayne should be good. The Fayne should be okay, you know, should be. But yeah, a lot of this is just artifact dependent and gear dependent, and if your account is 2 months old, this is just the reality of what's going to happen. You know, you're going to get to a point where you can have the best champs in the world, but at the end of the day, it's going to take some time to farm up your artifact supply and get a lot of good 5- and 6-star artifacts to build out your champions optimally. And that might just be what's happening here, you know. Apart from the Loki, he's got to go, man. But we already know that, right? As for the Skullcrusher, he is actually in speed boots, I believe. He's also in lifesteal as well, which, to be fair, it looks like he needed it against the Demon Lord Clan Boss run that I did do on this account, just to kind of test things out and see how things were going before closing out of the game to save the key. But the Skullcrusher as well is just a little bit too slow. Ideally, I believe if you want a Skullcrusher on your team giving counterattack to everybody, you want him to be faster than the clan boss, but slowest, like the slowest champion on your team, right? I believe that's the way you want it to be. So Nightmare Clan Boss moves at 170 speed. I think that your Skullcrusher's speed is totally fine if you have the Apothecary on the team. The Apothecary should be able to come in first and give him the 10-meter fill and the speed boost and stuff. And you should be fine. It should get the Skullcrusher moving much faster and just maintain that counterattack debuff. But yeah, I think that overall the Skullcrusher's build is looking fine-ish enough for the time being. Definitely got plenty of defense and stuff. He's doing okay, man. I think that he's doing his job all right for the time being, right? For me, it would mostly be just replacing Loki with the Apothecary and then just refining the builds on the Jintoro and on the Fayne so that you no longer require the Loki's accuracy aura to hit the accuracy required 200 for Nightmare Clan Boss. As for getting started into Hydra, you've got some pretty good components sort of lying around already. The Rector Drath is going to be a lot of help going into Hydra because she buffs up with Perfect Veil, which is going to make it so that any champion that attacks into the Head of Torment with Perfect Veil active will not get debuffed by True Fear, which is otherwise like an unresistible, unblockable True Fear. So the Rector Drath is in a good spot to help you out with that. And you are also sitting on Uugo as well, which is a fantastic champion to take up to 60 and have ready to rock and roll into normal Hydra as well. With that good old, well, decreased defense is great, but most importantly, the block buffs debuff being one of the most crucial debuffs to bring into Hydra as well. So I'd say for Hydra, you're in a pretty decent spot. You do want to keep your eye out for a good, reliable Provoker. I don't really see any decent Provokers on the account. You are going to need a Provoker to keep control of the Head of Decay. The only real Provoker we've got on the account so far is Giscard the Sigiled, which is not ideal. His Provoke even fully booked up? It's only a 75% chance to land, and so even though it's on a 310 and you could make him fast enough to get him to do the job, it's just not super reliable, and yeah, it doesn't make him an ideal Hydra Head of Decay Provoker. So a good Provoker would be the next champion archetype that you're looking to get ready, you know, for normal Hydra. But having the Uugo ready is fantastic, and having the Rector Drath already maxed out puts you off to a pretty solid start as is. Alright, and that is all for today's takeovers. Hey man, I'm going to be prioritizing any account that signs up using our beginner promo link, because frankly it's the best possible way I can give back to you. So if you want to get involved in this series, make sure to sign up to Raid, create a fresh new account using the beginner promo link down below at the top of the video description box. Blast that account for a few weeks, and then you can go ahead and join my Discord, which is also linked down below, and submit your account for a takeover review in one of these videos. It's going to be awesome, man. Alright, thanks so much, you guys. Hope you all did enjoy this one, and I'm going to catch all of you all just a tad bit later, man.